You think I'm gonna get through?
There's not a chance. Yeah. Nobody wants to insure homes in Florida. So what the insurance companies are doing, let's make these homes insurable. And by doing that, you do little things such as this starter stirrup roll. It's gonna cost you another $10 a roof to do it. And that roof is gonna be rated another 50 to 80 mile per hour winds. Shingles are great, but they're not made for everywhere.
All right, I'm here with Junie Brown and Kyle Van Boxel from Van Boxel Roofing Supply. How are you doing?
Doing great, and yourself?
Doing great, and we're talking about felt and basically being efficient with your prices. Hey, Junie, we have one question for Junie before we get started though. Junie, have you tried Van Boxel felt?
Oh, your mommy's so hard. Thank you, Junie.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, now our special guest is going to take off and do God knows what in this place. We are in a trade show right now in Orlando.
Yeah, nice show.
What are the things that, as people are walking by your booth right now, like really hook them?
The big thing with us is buy direct. We're a little bit different. We manufacture the felt, we sell. We're just not white labeling some Chinese junk. It's our factory, we're making it, we're selling direct. And you could literally make so much more than just your name on the felt. You can make any spec you want. We can make any felt for you.
You make QR codes?
We could do that on the felt. We actually have a customer, he put his QR code name, so when they're on the ground, they could take a picture of the roof and go straight to his website, and it works.
What else have people put on there?
We have some amazing logos that customers have put on there. Any color you want, we can put on there. Big thing we're running into is even thickness of felt. For example, the one behind us is our 100 GSM felt, approved in all 50 states. But we have some customers that, for example, want a real thick one.
Can you hold this so I can try punching it?
You can.
Do you think I'm gonna get through?
There's not a chance. Yeah, nothing.
All right.
We're good.
I'm hitting Kyle here. All right.
Like for example, this one even, we're at $50 a roll and 160 GSM. If you go to one of the big box stores, I would love to see somebody get 160 GSM for under 150 a roll.
This is literally just like armor.
That is complete overkill for a roof. But some people love it.
Why do people do that? This is like literally like you don't even need shingles.
The example for my roof, I did the 100 GSM. It's a great product all around. Under tile, I mean, you know, if you're doing a roof, you have $1 million house, why not put the better stuff on it? It's not a big expense. You're looking another 10, 15 a roll on it.
So how much is a roll for this insanely thick stuff?
That would be $50 a roll for 160 GSM.
And then normally, even like, so people do people all get the same price, or is there like variable price?
We do have a little bit of a tiered pricing due to quantities they order. So we only sell to the roofer. We will not sell to distributors. For example, people getting containers, truckloads of it. We're as low as about $30 a roll on our 100 GSM. When you get to our 150 or 160 GSM, we'll be in the high 40s if you're getting truckload quantities of it. One pallet of it, you're running about 60 a roll, and all that includes delivery. It includes custom labels. It includes Florida code.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Florida code thing for a second, because I think it's interesting that some roofing materials are not approved for Miami-Dade County, but is it all of Florida, or is it just Miami-Dade County?
So Florida has two different codes. They have their FBC code, they have Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade, that's the top dog code. That's the best code you can get. You get approved for that. You have a good quality product, you could go throughout the state of Florida. Florida code is another great code. It's not as stringent, but you need Florida code to work anywhere in Florida. Right now, even parts of Texas mandate Florida codes.
So you're telling me there's some people that are actually stealing the numbers on your guys' underlayment and putting it on theirs so that it looks like theirs has actually been approved.
Exactly.
But it has not been approved by Miami-Dade County.
There's some big name companies out there, not to mention names, it's easy enough to Google and see. But on ours, we have a Florida code, which is this FL number 42101. To get that code, we have a lot of money in that code. All of our products are certified through that code. We found about 9 companies that put that code on their product.
How would you know? Like, how would you know it was knockoff?
When it comes to the custom felt in the country, I mean, we sell a lot more than anybody. The only way a customer would know is if they look up that number. All you have to do is go to the Florida website, type in that number. If our name's not on that felt somewhere, it is a scam. We've caught about 9 companies doing it so far, taking our numbers, putting it on their felt, making fictitious products.
That's very interesting. I want to cover this topic more comprehensively around like codes in Florida for underlayment and just any other products that you guys sell that there's like special requirements for Miami-Dade or Florida. I'm just curious about this and what makes it qualified for that code, like, or is it essentially just a really like bureaucratic system?
There's a very good qualification. A lot of times, some of the codes, when you get to a 10, 20 years ago, is whatever company had more money, they'd make their product approved. Now, Miami-Dade, it's a great process. They come out, they inspect our facilities once a year, make sure it's up to par. Also, the product itself has to be a certain thickness, can take the Florida weather. Florida has extreme weather. Between the hots and hurricanes,
noticed.
yeah, it's been pretty rough. So there's all different types, even down to a new product. They have the fortified system is now code in Florida. A big thing with that is your starter strip, which we have. It's a Florida Miami-Dade approved starter strip. Basically what I explain it to is a double-sided ice and water. You got the adhesion top, adhesion bottom, put it down, put the shingles right on it. There's just a little strip of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another product. That's Florida code, Florida approval. And you know, everything we sell, whether we're selling in Florida, Maine, Wyoming, it's gonna have Florida approval because we won't sell junk.
And so they have a special one for this. What would not qualify for why are they so, I know that the weather's extreme, but there's extreme weather around the country.
There is.
So why did they have their own codes?
So what now,
happened?
In Florida, insurance companies are backing out in Florida. There's already lost a few of them. Erie Insurance is gone. A few of them are pulling out. Nobody wants to insure homes in Florida. So what the insurance companies are doing, let's make these homes insurable. And by doing that, you do little things such as this starter strip roll. It's gonna cost you another $10 a roof to do it. And that roof is gonna be rated another 50 to 80 mile per hour winds. So they're trying to make these houses better, which essentially is good. You look at a lot of these areas in the Caribbean and whatnot, the houses aren't destroyed after a hurricane. Why are Florida houses destroyed after hurricanes? They're not built to par. So going forward, they're trying to just make the better houses, make them better, doing concrete, different type roofing, different type underlayments. And, next 10 to 20 years, there's gonna be a huge change in building in Florida. It's starting with the fortified system, which is a great system. I'm not a big fan of insurance companies, but they're the ones that essentially came up with the fortified system. And all in all, that's a great system. It's gonna cost a small percentage more, and the amount of better quality you get from it, I mean, it's amazing.
So it's insurance companies is this a law?
So the fortified is becoming code. Insurance companies kind of started, they brought it up to,
So now it's building codes in Florida are enforcing the fortified system.
They are, that is correct. So the insurance companies did the due diligence in it. They put the legwork in to figure out what system will work and make these houses better, and they present it.
Is this why now, like, there's somebody that has to come out and look at builds as they're happening? Because isn't it like a lot more complicated than a lot of places around the country to make sure it's like qualifies?
It is. So for example, I'm from Ohio. I could have teenagers go put up a roof, do everything, no inspection. They're good to go. You go to Florida, you need a dry-in inspection, you need a final inspection. It could take up to 3 days to get it approved usually.
I think this is interesting because there are people that come from around the country after these storms to try to work these things. Yes, a lot of times they use crews from the area, but they won't understand the nuances of this back and forth. That's like it is a lot.
It is. I mean, the bureaucratic aspect of it, normally I'm really against it, but seeing how much better roofs are in Florida than much other areas, it does work. They make you get certified for it.
Then this is going to then potentially spread.
Oh, most definitely. Right now they're talking Texas to go to fortified system all the way next 4 to 5 years.
The only thing is then you have to inspect what you expect. So then there will be a system in those states where somebody will come out and inspect the roof at different points?
That is still going to be state specific. For example, like Wyoming, you could build a whole house without a building inspection at all. Each state's a little bit different. Where I'm in Ohio, it's very minimal.
But it might change if they add this, because if you say you have to do a fortified roof.
Correct. It'll need to be inspected.
It'll need to have to be people that, so that will be annoying.
It will be. It's going to be annoying if they do go to the full other states. The other thing they're doing is insurance discounts. Other states are doing insurance discounts for growing the fortified system. That's a huge savings. We had a customer last week that saved $1,600 a year just going to it. I mean, with us, we don't say essentially make more money selling fortified, non-fortified, but it's a good system. We have the products to do either. If you want to go fortified, go it. If you don't, personally, I would go fortified system. It's not much more, and it's a much better end of the day product.
So fortified system, like, are there any other states that have made this law?
Right now in the works is Texas. Florida has it fully right now.
Oh, yeah.
No other states fully have it implemented. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it was last year where it actually was coming into Florida, getting set up.
Yeah. And is it really that much harder to do?
It is not at all. You're going to take maybe for the whole roof another couple hours labor, if that. They have a few things. For example, with this starter strip, if you don't use that, you have to use roofing cement 4 inches in the bottom, which is a pain. It's messy. That some people prefer it. I don't know why.
And what does this really do? Go ahead. So you kind of were explaining to me earlier, but now that I'm like intrigued by this fortified roofing system thing, what does this really do on the bottom?
So what you do is you pull this peel and stick in the back here. You put it onto the decking, correct?
Okay. For me, it will take longer than your average roofer.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you put it down on the decking to one side, and then you see how the adhesion's top and bottom. Then your shingle's going to come down right on top of this and stick to it.
And it's like really heavy mat.
Correct.
And then it's like, what does it do for the roof? Like,
so the wind's coming in from the hurricane. Normally your shingles here, if you have a little tar strip, will get pulled up.
Yeah.
With this here, I mean, you have 8-10 inches of adhesion. They will not get pulled up at all.
Yeah.
Your decking's coming up before that shingle comes up.
Huh.
The main part of a roof when the wind comes, the very starter,
so
that'll pull up.
This is mainly for adhesion?
That is it, correct, for the top shingle to go down to and stick it. So the very bottom shingle, no nails on it, that little lip, that's what holds it down. And I mean, something as simple as that.
Roofing products, so we covered fortified roofing pretty,
yes,
to a certain degree. What else is changing this next? What are you guys anticipating as a provider of very, very economical roofing supplies? What is your next couple products you're looking at? And what do you think is going to happen that might change products this next few years?
The codes and everything coming up, insurance companies are playing a huge part, which we got into a little bit. But the 2-ply system in Florida, what that means is 2-ply synthetic, 2-ply ice and water. They're trying to go for that that's not all the way in right now, but we do have a couple nice products coming out for 2-ply, which is going to essentially be a little bit of a game changer, hopefully in the next 6-8 months. Another thing about us too, I mean, we manufacture, we sell direct. We currently hold 2 patents on new types of roofing nails, which in Florida market is going to be phenomenal. So we're working on the final manufacturing, working a few kinks out. We've been had these patents for about a couple years now.
What was wrong with the current roofing nail?
It's been the same roofing nail for 100 years. Right now, 20 years ago, the shingle wasn't strong enough. When wind came, the shingle would rip, it would tear off. Now the nails are pulling out, the shingles got so much better. So the new one we have, it grips, it holds a whole lot better. Downside, when they tear it off in 20 years, it's going to be harder to pull up, but the longevity of the roof, it's going to help a lot. So we're working on that right now. Manufacturing's a little bit of a pain, but like anything, good stuff doesn't come quick. So we're hoping that takes off quite a bit. But there's a lot of new products coming out in the market.
Hey, do a little forecasting for me, like, just for fun. Roofs, 20 years from now, will it be asphalt shingles?
I think north of Florida, it's going to be a lot of asphalt shingles and metal. I mean, you get north of, say, Virginia is kind of probably going to be a little bit on the East Coast, a changing point where it'll be asphalt metal. Down south, I'm seeing a lot more tile roofs coming in. There's a lot of metal products coming in down here as well. Theoretically, in Florida, southern Georgia, Alabama, I mean, shingles, I think they're going to start pulling off and going away a little bit. Same with Texas.
As I understood it, specialty roofing products, or maybe it's just modified, or synthetic products that are less than 2% of the market. But I thought it was all or less than 8 at least. It's just not a lot of other products. Asphalt is the product.
Asphalt is the product because they made it the product. To create a facility to produce it, you're looking 25, 30 million. You only have a handful of major players, and that's how they make their money. So they're going to keep pushing asphalt. Shingles are great, but they're not made for everywhere.
But the homeowner really decides, right?
The homeowner decides.
But it's kind of the salespeople that are giving the options.
That is it. And who really goes out and looks at every option there? there's a lot of them. And if you see your neighbor has shingles, your dad has shingles, his grandfather had shingles, you're going to have shingles.
You know, I don't really get to like hang out with the owners of supply companies very often. So I've got more questions for you. What do you think about different roof coatings? We got Go Nano over here, which is a little bit more of like it bonds the outer part of the shingle and potentially makes it a little bit more water. It sheathes water easily. And then you got Ugly Roof over here, which is, it seems like it's more of a softening or like longevity product for another 5 years. Give me a rapid fire. How do you feel? This is now my mic. How do you feel about Go Nano? And be brutally honest if it's brutal and be real if it's real.
With Go Nano, I don't know enough about their product, but I don't see it, the longevity of it. I don't think they've been around long enough to really test the product, see exactly how it is.
Okay, how about Ugly Roof? How do you feel about that product? Have you seen it in action?
That's more of a flipper product. Somebody clean up the roof for a few years, save a few years, get rid of the house and go from there. So it does have a use, but it is I wouldn't do it on my own. If you're flipping a house, I know a lot of people that have done it.
Okay, there you go. I did an Ugly Roof on my roof and I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Just even like cleaning a roof. Like I think
Oh, yeah.
cleaning a roof, and apparently if you soft wash it a lot, sometimes or like you do chemical washes, sometimes it actually can make the shingle more brittle. So having something, and honestly, I don't know the science behind it.
Yes.
Anyway, so we got Go Nano, Ugly Roof. What else is crazy or innovative in the material space and the product space that you've seen, like maybe that you don't sell, that you're interested in or keeping an eye on?
I think ventilation at this point, new types of ventilation.
I'm gonna stop using this fake mic I made.
It kind of looked real there for a minute.
Yeah.
But ventilation is a big thing coming out, changing. Ventilation's been overlooked for years. That's a crucial part. Now there's all types of ventilation coming on. We're working with a manufacturer right now, coming up with a few new types of ventilation. Just trying to create an easy way to do it. Trying to create new soffit ventilation. There's new ventilation that actually goes in the roof up the first couple rows. There's a lot going out there. Same way, a big thing I see with roofing in all markets is it's very scamish too.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to run scams. Everybody's trying to steal something from the other, and it's all about marketing. They'll try to sell something not worth a damn, saying it's great with nothing to back it up. The common consumer's not going to be doing the research. If somebody sells it, they're going to assume somebody's checking it. But the thing with roofing, even with them stealing our numbers, there's no recourse on these companies. We can't sue them. Nobody's going to them. I know a couple companies with ventilation companies right now. This ventilation does not work. And they could just keep flooding the market.
How does the average, maybe not the average consumer, but the average roofer check claims on like a ventilation system, for instance?
You really have to do your due diligence. Much I hate to say, like Reddit's a good option online, checking online for that. Try out the products yourself. A lot of these companies popping out, you'll see a new ventilation, they're out of business in 2 years. There's a reason why. But there really needs to be a good nonpartisan organization to go and check these. This year I've seen 1 or 2 companies come out and they're trying to do great stuff. But each one of those companies is vested with another product. We need somebody out there not tied to us, not tied to anybody, to truly test products and tell the roofers what's good. Just because it's OC, GAF, or whatever, doesn't mean it's great. I mean, they do have some great products, but it doesn't mean it's a great product. It means it has the best margins.
So what I'm hearing, like all the third parties have interests. Even like the publications or the whatever. I've done some tests and I can't help but know the people if I know the people at that company, I can't help but be a little nicer to them, right? Like it's a natural thing that happens.
It is, but
even third-party testing solutions have some bias, especially if it's the product that's commissioning. Oh, I'm commissioning these guys. It's my product.
They do. For example, though, we went earlier this year. We took 10 different synthetic felts, all claimed to be 100 GSM. 10 of them. We sent them out to a third party. Even we cut it out of the brown spots so they didn't know. We had them all situated. Of the 10, only 2 of them were 100 GSM. So products like that you're able to do. There's ways to do it to where you don't know what product's what, or even have the Roofing Association, NASF, one of those, have them hold a testing. Some other company set it up.
Or, as you're growing as a company, like to test your own products that you're gonna offer, right?
You have to, I mean.
Find ways to test your own products. As you're in business for 10 plus years, you start to see what roofs you got callbacks on, which roofs you didn't. I think that's one of the ways that roofers essentially test products is like, hey, we used to offer this shingle, now we're not.
You get a lot of companies out there too. They're just so used to going to a certain supplier, buying from them. Whatever their salesman suggests, they just put it on the roof and assume it's good. Yeah, where most of it is going to be good. But on occasion, there's a reason why the salesman's pushing product A, B, or C. A lot of times they get extra bonus, whatever. Might not always be the best product for the application. So you definitely have to do your due diligence, go through everything. Like I said, ventilation, I see that industry right now is just, it's awful. There's some good companies out there, good products, and there's some that are just, I mean, they're ungodly bad.
Well, you know, why should somebody use Van Boxel? Because to me, a big thing is convenience, right? It's not just the price.
Yeah, with us.
I don't want just a convenient option. I don't want just a cheap option. I want convenience and good deals, right?
The big thing with us, especially when it comes, for example, to felt, we manufacture it and we sell direct. We don't sell to distribution. We're not one of these companies white label and saying, oh, we'll put your name on it. You get some Chinese stuff out there. Everything we wear, and we're able to customize too. If you want a different thickness, a thinner product, you tell us what you want, we'll make it. It's not a big deal. Anything you want, we can get. Now we have accessories, we have ice and water, we have drip edge, we have ridge vent, and everything nobody's touching our price on. The big thing with felt, we guarantee nobody will beat our price by 10%. If you find a cheaper price on felt, regardless what it is, we'll beat it by 10%. And that's hands down, nobody's gonna touch that.
All right, now to cap off this podcast, we're gonna take this show on the road and try to shoot a hail cannon through this underlayment. And if you could, I think a hail cannon normally would go through some underlayment. Is that true?
I would assume so.
So this would be insane if, what is this product called? It's only 50-year-old?
That is our, 50, our 100, or it's our elite product, our 160 GSM product.
So let's see if the hail cannon goes through this extremely thick underlayment or not.
Yeah, I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby.